we're going to go over what's covered in this first module on language fundamentals. This is really going to get us used to the syntax that's used in Swift 3. So we're going to start off with some very basic constructs like variables, how to declare constants. We're also going to see some important concepts that are called optionals and force unwrapping. They kind of go hand in hand. Optionals basically means you can return a nil, and there's certain ways you want to handle when that's going to happen. And a force unwrap is a scenario where you've got the optional type and it's going into code that is not expecting an optional. That code is expecting a value to exist, which we know is not always the case for an optional. So in that scenario, you want to do what's called a force unwrap, where you basically get rid of the optional. You ensure that only the value is returned. Then we get into arrays and dictionaries. So familiar constructs there. The array is just a list of items that are indexed with a 0 index base. Dictionaries are key value pairs. And with the Swift3 syntax, there's different ways that you create these and add values to them than what used to happen in earlier versions of Swift. Then we have loops and conditionals. So we'll see how to do those. We get into functions and classes as well. Now, this whole section, we're going to be working inside of what's called the playground. And in the playground, there's just kind of like a console where you're just typing out and executing code. There's no UI or IDE or anything like that. It's very basic. And what it allows us to do is not be distracted with other things we don't have to worry about right now, such as interface builder and all the components in it, the debugger, the IDE inside of Swift with the assistant editor, the project explorer. None of that's going to be here. It's just going to be very simple for us to learn about these fundamental concepts. Then we're going to have a project. So this is really going to go over everything we've covered here, or most of it at least, and let us get hands-on and try to solve something. We're going to be given a set of instructions and going to go off, going to try and do it. Then there's going to be a walkthrough of how to accomplish this solution. So let's go ahead and get into this module.